So, hello, this is the Gusto website. You type in gusto.co.uk and you come to this. You can choose recipes, free food, sustainability help, your Gusto, which lists what you have. That was the one that we are doing the season 1 out of. This would be other recipes that you like. Upcoming deliveries. That is your subscription setting. 5 meals, £4.30 a serving, £43. This is the position you would come to in the subscription settings to change frequency, which is down here, and set how often you wanted to come. Box size, 2 people, you would edit there. How many boxes or meals, set in here. And any there, dietary, yep, and you would edit here your delivery time. Your delivery time is the complete day from 8 AM to 7 PM on the day with the delivery charge. You have, as it says here, up at the top, you have until noon on Monday to make your recipe choices or skip delivery. Because on the Monday, that's when they will take the payment. Next button will have your account details. I am not going to go to that because that's probably going to have my name and address and items listed there. These rate my recipes. I haven't been here, but I will take it. Since I haven't had any of the meals, I can't rate what any of the meals taste like. So we'll go to recipe choice and we can have a look at some of the recipes. That's your delivery option, which would be a Thursday. You would highlight by picking what you want. You would go to this bit down here where it says add recipe, and that's what you would pick. So if you take it, we have some items, like herby roast chicken tray bake, which looks just like, if you click on the item, it opens up another listing. Then you've got to go over to this side, to the pull and pull down. 55 minutes to cook, use within 4 to 5 days, 3 to 5 days for the veg. So you're going to have to use within 3 to about 3-4 days after getting it. You will need salt, vegetable oil and olive oil. I cannot work out that these are supposed to be a box that gives you everything you need. Why don't they just include a little salt? A bit like what you get in McDonald's or a takeaway. One of those little salt things, or as much as you would need to salt the item. Because people could overdo the salt quite easily. And even when it comes to the vegetable oil and olive oil, why don't they just provide you with a small amount of that? So if you continue going down, you get a list of what it is. Now, let's denote this list is only accurate on certain items. We have 1 red onion. We don't have a size. We don't know if this is going to be a big red onion or a little red onion. 2 cloves of garlic, 320 grams. Now this is based on 2 people, so that would be 160 grams of chicken thighs. Chicken thighs aren't all that dear. 80 grams of fine green beans, 10 grams of rosemary and thyme. Now that may be fresh, but I don't think there's much difference between the fresh and using the dried. 2 carrots, once again, no weight on how big the carrots are. 3 potatoes, no weight on what the potatoes are. 11 grams of chicken stock mix, which is just technically like Bisto. 40 grams of onion marmalade, which I take it as just a mix of marmalade and onions. 1 parsnip. I'm not all that keen on parsnip, a bit hard and thingy. 1 tablespoon of corn flour. On this, I will take it the corn flour is going to be used to coat the chicken in some way to affect its taste. So you get the dietary once again you get a list of that. So your marmalade is made up of 39% red onion. That's not much weight, is it? 39% of 40 grams. Well, if we say that's a third of the weight, so that's 12 grams of onions about. Brown sugar, water, vinegar, corn flour, red currant juice, lemon juice, onion powder. Why would you need onion powder? You're using real onion. And a caramelized sugar syrup. So it's going to be something sticky, isn't it? I don't know how you could call it a marmalade. But cinnamon and ginger powder. Right, okay, so tells you what's in that. But these are what we're going to look at anyway. We're looking at what weight of items you're going to get to make this picture. This is what we're looking for. This would be our target. Now, chicken thighs are very cheap. And the veggies that we've got in there, we can change some of these veggies and make our own type of that. So is that really worth getting? But let's see, where can I find now? Beef lasagna, can't stand lasagna. Spaghetti bolognese, well, that's quite simple to make. You see, I more go for maybe like the sesame pork and egg fried rice, at least something different that you can't really buy in a shop. Oven baked Korean style pork and rice bowl. At least looks something different. This, here we go. This is one of the ones where I can't see the value being for this item. Extra special bangers and mash. So you might say, why do you say that? Well, let's go down to the list of what it is now. Special bangers and mash or meat-free version if you want that. Why bother? Right, so let's just have a look. We have 7 items making up this put together. We have 1 red onion. May not be able to get red onion, so 1 onion. 80 grams of green beans, 2 carrots, 4 potatoes, 5.5 grams of stock mix, 6 sausages, and it looks like we have the onion marmalade again. Yes, but we only have 20 grams of it. So how are we putting this together, do we think? Well, we know the mash is going to be made up for just the potatoes. And if you look at the pictures, the carrots are just sliced and cooked. The potatoes are mashed. The onions are going into the sauce, into the gravy, and the beans. So technically we have the beans, potatoes and carrots just getting cooked, mashing the potatoes, cooking the sausage, well, even cooking the onion as well. All of that could all go into a pressure cooker and cook. And then just brown off the sausages in the halogen. But you're looking at 3 sausages. Once again, We haven't got no weight. We don't know how big these sausages are going to be if you got that. But 6 sausages. So, where is the complication of making this item, and how can you say that this item is worth the cost per a meal, depending on which level you're buying at? Buy it at full price, there's no way that 6 sausages, they have to be really expensive sausages, because the rest of the makeup of this is very cheap items. I would go for the green beans, are going to be fresh, but frozen ones are just as good, and 80 pence for a bag of probably a kilogram weight. So you're not even looking at 10 pence for the value of the beans. One red onion, well, one onion, doesn't have to be red, you may not like red onions, you mightn't be able to get them. One onion, you can get a bag of onions, kilogram bag of onions, about 50-55 pence. So you could add a bit more onion in it if you wanted. 2 carrots, bag of carrots, about 30-40 pence per kilogram. 4 potatoes, well, Maris Papers, Aldi, 2.5 kilogram bag, that's £1.19 from what I remember. So 4 potatoes out. What we need to find out is the weight of each of these items, and as they haven't given weights for the onion, the carrots and the potatoes, it means they can change the weights and just pick up 4. You could get 4 of the tiniest potatoes in history and 2 of the smallest carrots. So therefore, by not giving you a weight, each of your meals, if you bought this 3 times in a row, I bet you that your potatoes and carrots are unlikely to come to the same weight in each of your meals. Then it's not a weight, you're going to have 120 grams of carrots minimum type thing. There's no minimum of what you might get. We have guaranteed that we are going to get 80 grams of the green beans, but we can't guarantee what we're going to get as the carrot. And since we're chopping it, they could have chopped it and just put it into the same bag similar to what they're going to put the green beans in. So it's an 84% pork meat sausage, but you can buy whatever sausages you like, and the marinade once again is the same marinade from the last one, just less of it. So if it comes in 20 gram containers, then you get 2 in the last one and you only get 1 in this one. But there is 75, but we haven't looked at all of them. We have 84 in total. And yeah, some of them are a bit unusual, but do note that a lot of the meals are made up using a very similar format. We either have meals that come with potato, like the mash, or chips. We have meals which come with the main component and the largest amount of the component being made up of a pasta of some type, whether it's straight spaghetti or one of the shaped ones. I don't like the shaped ones. Or we have a rice, and the rice one seems to all make up some type of curry type thing, or a sauce with some type of meat in. So if you look, there won't be many that aren't made up of something along the same line. Of course, you will get the odd one out. If you take it, this chicken pot pie has flaky pastry. That's probably going to be the biggest bit, but there is not much value. You can get a roll-out 340 gram flaky pastry in Farm Foods for 95 pence, and just roll out a bit, you put it in the oven. So it's probably exactly what you're going to do with that if that turns up. So as you see, most of the meals are normally chicken. Look how many chicken ones we've got. Them 4 are chicken. We have fish in the middle one. We have chicken, chicken pie, Mexican chicken, chicken curry. So chicken doing very well in the listing because chicken is very cheap. I do have, there is not much in this one, is there? Doesn't look much to it. So we've got a bit of fish which looks really very brown. What am I looking for? Oh, that's there. But I want to find the other one. There's a burger one. I want to find one of the other burgers and just quickly look at that. Ah, found a burger. Now, the burger ones. If you're going to be spending £3 on a portion on a burger, let's see what we have. Let's see if we're going to see how much meat there is actually going to be. So we have 9 items. So think about this. Think about looking at how much of these items you're going to get and how much you can buy these items in the shop. Yes, you may buy a bigger amount of the item to make this one meal, but you are likely to use some of the other items in other meals. It's not this is only making this meal. It normally ends up making something else down the line. So we have 2 tomatoes. The last time I priced tomatoes, those ones are big size ones. They were about 67 pence for 6. So that's about 22 pence worth of banana, of tomato. Spring onions, 3 spring onions. They're probably about 40 pence a bunch, aren't they? So if you half how much is in a bunch, then you're probably looking at another 20 pence there. The 40 grams of cheddar. We don't know which type of cheddar it is, but a 250 gram cheddar is about, what, £3? You can get it in Aldi, and I think it's cheaper than that for that weight. The white wine vinegar, that is a Chinese, more like a Chinese item you can get. And you're only using 15 millilitres, and it comes in a big bottle. And the same with the tomato puree. There is a cheap version of that you can get, which is I think about 60 pence. I don't know what weight's in it, so I can't price off how much that is. So let's have a look at the final 3. 4 potatoes are going to make up your chips or your fry or whatever you're going to do for that. And you've got half a teaspoon of dried chili flakes. You could always leave the dried chili flakes out, but you can buy them in any of the bottles and that lot. So to use just that much, you're probably only using a fraction of how much is in the whole bottle. And 2 bread buns. You can buy 2 bread buns of your choice, but look at the meat. So our burger will be made up of 125 grams, if that's going to make up 2 burgers for the 250. So your portion of meat is 125 grams. There is an option there that you could half that and make 2 thinner burgers, which would take less time to cook and still come out with it. So you could make something more like a Big Mac type thing with thinner burgers and put them together. But 250 grams of mince. What's the price of mince? I know the price of pork mince. Pork mince is in Aldi £1.79 for 500 grams, which makes that mince total about 80 pence. Beef mince, I think, is a tiny bit dearer, but I don't normally buy the beef one. But I still think we can get about £2.50. I think £2.50 might be in Asda to make up that. So your meat is always the biggest expense on these meals. But what meat are they using, and how much of the meat are they using? We have no idea. Unless it's going to tell us in the pull down, we have no idea the fat content of that meat. There we go. Fat content. It's a 20% fat content. That's pretty high. That's going to, actually for the burger, that's going to moisten it and juicen it and make it. But that's, when I bought my last pork mince, I got it 5% fat, and that was in the £2 mark. So 20%, fairly low. It's not the biggest price for that one. I would have to look on Asda and see what their beef mince would be to work out that. But if you take it, that's a very small amount of meat. And you could use any bun, any meat. We have tofu. Never had tofu, don't think I'd like it. Pak choi is a vegetable. It looks a bit like a leek, and it's pretty expensive actually. It's over £1, but then it depends on how big a piece you're going to get to make that. Thinking about like the salmon and that lot, that salmon dish has an extra £2 a serving. So I'm not quite sure. Is it £2 for your double serving? So that's £1 extra each. Or is it £2 each, the thingy? Some of these just don't. Them chips look overcooked a bit. They're very dark. So as we see, we have another burger, and this one you pay £1.50 extra. It's already pushing it to make it worth it, but charging £1.50 extra, that's definitely not. Some of these you save 50p, so you drop the price of your meal down because the items being used are so cheap. But I would say there's a lot more that should be very, very cheap to make. You know, making some soup with peas and chorizo. Chorizo is a spicy sausage. Well, it was last time I had a Morrison's chorizo slice thing. It was a sausage which is sliced. It's only 100 grams of it, and if that's for 2 people, that's very little meat. So you can go through these, you pick out which ones you like. Some of them sell out, which means you can't get them for the delivery date that you've got. But some of them that just looks like some bread with an egg and some stuff chucked on it. Tofu is smashed avocado wrap. Wraps don't have any taste whatsoever. They're fairly cheap to get a hold of. Getting a pack of 6 or 8 is it you can get, and what you're going to get, I can't see the value of some of these items. But that was just a quick look at the food that you can get and the website. So you can choose the recipes, you can see info, which is mostly just that, and you can see what's coming, you can see track your orders, pick your next meal, and see anything about that. But you have to really be careful what meal you pick if you're going to pick one, and you have to pick something which has some value that isn't cheap to make, or maybe it has a lot of components in it, which means you have to buy a lot of different items that you may never want to buy again. If you're just trying something out and you just want to test some food or something, then yeah, fine, a one-off. But if you're going to make these things regular, then there is no point in just constantly just buying this meal instead of just going to the shop and buying it. You still have to go to the shop. If you tell me that you're not going to go to the supermarket and buy something for breakfast, your milk, anything like that, you're still going to go to the supermarket. Buying these boxes doesn't remove you from going to the supermarket. And you're going to have to be in on the day it's delivering between 8 in the morning and 7 at night. Someone has to be in, or you have to have somewhere to put it. So someone could come and steal it because they know that somebody puts that there and it's worth about 50 quid. Yeah, that's, so it's not as convenient as what you think, but we are looking and we will see. If you watch the other videos, you'll see what these things turn out like, what they look like, and all of that. So for that, thank you for watching. Please like, comment, share, subscribe, and I will see you on the next video. So bye for now.